Hello, beautiful listeners. Welcome to your least favorite podcast. My name is Shanze Reza, and we are back at it again with an actor this time. We've had a lot of artists and singers in the previous episodes, but I'm so thrilled to be able to have Sahil Mehta. I'm so sorry for my whitewash pronunciation. but I what I usually do here, Sahil, is I give an intro to the guests on my show, but we're not gonna do that today. Today, you're gonna tell who Sahil is because I feel like, yes, we know you're an actor. Yes, we know you're into the arts, but who are you? Are you a lover? Are you a rule breaker? Are you a rebel? We want to know you a little deeper. So let's get uncomfortable.
Well, first of all, I don't know what time it would be there, but hello to your audience, and I'm really happy and grateful to be doing this with Shanze. And well, as asked by you that who am I would say that I'm somebody who loves golgappas without the tamarind sauce.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is who I am. I'm a human being.
Yeah.
I'm a son. I'm a brother. Mm, I'm a learner, you can say, and yeah,
I love that. Yeah.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna get a little deeper into like what it looks like to be in the media and what that is behind the scenes because it seems like it's all glitz and glam, but we know it can be the trenches sometimes, it can be rough. And I feel like you're the perfect person to talk about this because you don't exactly have those connections and you're very young in this very growing industry, and sometimes it can be scary not knowing where the industry is going.
exactly.
Yeah.
I would like to extend what you said that it's kind of scary, which is true in a way, but it could be adventurous when you don't know what's on your way, because sometimes it's okay to not know things that
Yes.
if you know that, okay, if you have to reach like a bookstore, you know the way. But sometimes not knowing the way and exploring the journey on the way, like, okay, fine, you'll ask that person, he'll say, okay, then take the right, and then he'll say, okay, then walk straight for 2 minutes, and then take the left. So the fun part in that journey is I think that I enjoy as a person, and that is where the learning lies, I would say.
Oh, for sure.
Because even for me, I come from a middle class family from Delhi. My grandfather came from Lahore during
Yes.
partition.
Yes.
I belong to a Punjabi family, so he came to India, and I mean, he was in the business of selling vegetables, and
Okay.
then my father started like the clothing garment business, and then I had like no connections in the industry. The only thing that I knew was that I like um mimicking somebody, or like being somebody. I used to
Mm-hmm.
like Shonza. I was a kid, and I remember I used to live in a very narrow lane in Delhi, and there used to be like local street vendors, and I remember the voices or the sounds that they used to make.
Right.
Like I remember, so if this is the sound, like got a bit of also. So I remember like this is the fruit he's selling, and then
Yes.
there was this another guy who used to come on a bicycle and used to sell chola bhaturas. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you know about that or not. On a very crazy cycle, he used to have that little oven.
Yeah.
He used to heat the bhaturas
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
do the cholas in
Yeah.
a customized cooler. He
Mm-hmm.
had a narrow, hollow cooler,
Yeah.
and there was this vessel which had cholas in it.
Yeah.
And I was like a little amazed and fascinated, like how did he do it?
Uh-huh.
And I used to like try and copy and mimicking that whole setup at my home.
Oh.
There was some two stools at my home. I used to put them like the opposite side. I used to like mimic the whole setup
Oh,
at
I
home,
love that.
and the whole voice, the whole costume, the whole body language, everything. I
Yeah.
used to like copy that as a kid, like uh, 5-ish or 6 years old.
Okay.
And then I got introduced to the world of theater when I was in my seventh or eighth grade in school.
Okay.
I used to do music. I started doing music when I was in my third grade, and that too happened accidentally. I was doing nothing at all,
Okay.
and my music teacher took me to the music room, and I was like, oh, "Sir," and he's like, "Just go in." And I was like, "Sir, but ask me at least." And he's like, "Just go in and play tabla," and I started playing tabla, congo, bongo, and for like long 7 8 years, I was in the world of music.
Yeah.
Like every day I used to play tabla in my school assembly,
Yeah.
and it just like the rhythm just got inside me. I
Yeah.
don't know why. Even now, when I think, when I watch something, when I perform, I do it with rhythm, with beats.
Mm-hmm.
I understand beats.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then I started doing theater
Yes.
um, during my eighth grade, and that's how I got really fascinated in the world of theater, and I took it seriously that okay, fine,
Okay.
this is something that I used to do as a kid, and this is something that I need to do in life.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and slowly and steadily in my college, I started doing theater, and then finally started auditioning, and then I entered cinema.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for that like brief of how Sahil came to be in the
I'm not sure
industry.
if you asked me that or not, but I just
Yeah, no,
went with the flow.
I love that story, and I feel like it's so important as an actor and actress. The part where you said like you mimic, like that's what you need that in storytelling. If you can't pick up on all those details,
Yeah,
you come off as like a fraud.
yeah,
And yeah, that's really cool that that's something that I think you just picked up, and that's in your personality from music
yeah,
or whatever,
yeah,
what sounds are in the world. You pick it up and then you
yeah,
can apply it.
yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
More than mimicking, I think I'm not taking the right term actually, but I would say observation.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever characters that I've played and whatever roles I've done till now, or maybe in the future, or what I'm doing right
Mm-hmm.
now, are the compilation of like whatever observations I've
Yeah.
made in life, right?
Yes.
The way I used to travel through metro, the people I used to watch,
Mm-hmm.
the kind of relatives I have in my family,
Yeah.
like little bit traits here and there, and you just sum it up, and you don't know what trait that you
Yeah.
think will suit that character.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's observation.
Yeah. With that
Yeah.
being said, do you think anyone can be an actor? Does it still take a special something for an actor and someone who's just saying lines?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tricky. I believe, very honestly speaking, Shanze, I believe that it's a very spiritual and very internal process.
Mm.
I'm not too sure. Because I remember when I started, I was very raw. I am raw, but I used to like record myself. When I used to like send self tapes, I
Mm-hmm.
used to keep a copy of that on my phone or my soft drive,
Right.
so that when I see that performance of mine after like years, so that I can see my improvement,
Yeah.
so that I can see where I'm growing or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to like do this monologue of mine, and I got that audition script from a person long back,
Mm.
and I remember I did that like 6 years back, and then I did it again after 2 3 years when there was COVID happening. We were locked in our homes,
Mm-hmm.
and again I did that. I recorded that, so I used to see the improvement that I did initially,
Yes.
right? So I think it comes with practice also,
Yeah.
but
Are you scared? Are you scared to say it's only for some people?
no, I'm not scared because I'm not really sure.
Okay.
If I'm sure about something, I would say that.
Okay.
But if I'm not sure, I wouldn't say. But I think it's a lot to do with what do you say, kismet,
Yeah. Destiny.
luck,
Fate. Yeah.
destiny, luck.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, I was just having a chat with my sister,
Yeah.
and they were like, Sahil, you're lucky, and yeah, I was like, yes, that's true, but you don't know what do I do behind the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
You don't see the hard work behind, because it is not, sometimes hard work is not just going in the buses and walking for hours. I mean, hard work is to do with even mentally,
Yeah.
that if you're preparing for a character, you have to like really brush your brains through
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things, and sometimes you don't get it,
Yeah.
right? And so yeah, I think it's a compilation and a mixture of so many things.
Right. I couldn't agree more. I think that's very accurate.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that you brought up the mental preparation that goes into your character building, um,
yeah,
because that is one of my questions. And when you are working towards this character and you're developing it, how do you
yeah,
ensure you don't take that character home with you so it doesn't disturb your life? And even if you're not doing method acting, it's
yeah,
still a part of you. If I watch a TV show and there's this character I like, I pick up on their quirks. So how
yeah,
do you ensure like to keep that healthy differentiation from who you are and who this character is?
yeah. So there's a actor friend of mine. He's really senior. He's a veteran actor in our Bollywood industry,
Okay.
and he really like makes fun of that. You know, when people say that, oh, I did this guy. I mean, no offense for sure, but he's like, oh, I know this actor, and he was like, I'm taking therapy now. I did this role, and I'm like, it is into my hand. It only happens when you do it,
Mm.
when you allow
Yeah.
that thing to go over your body. You know, as an actor, you have to have control over your body, not the other way around,
Mm-hmm.
right? If your body is having control, or if your mind is having control over you,
Yeah.
then you're done,
Yeah.
then you're finished.
Yeah.
So as a person, you have to practice so hard. You have to make sure that you have the control over your body plus your brain, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's a very thin line to it.
Yes.
And what do I do, Shanze? That I don't live in Mumbai. Our industry is based in Mumbai, which is a
Right.
city in
Yes.
India, right? So I am based in Delhi,
Mm-hmm.
Delhi NC now, right? And I don't live here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a house here.
Right.
This is the apartment given to me by production,
Right.
the work, the project that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So that's a very small thing that I try because I follow my instinct. I never wanted to like shift here. Even now, people say that, are you shifting? Have you shifted? They ask me daily,
Yeah.
but I say like, I don't want to. I'm
Yeah.
a very family guy, and I like to have my dinner with my family
Mm-hmm.
every day, at least one meal. That's what my dad taught me,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I mean, if I'm doing a character right now, I'm shooting for a project.
Mm-hmm.
Once I'm done, let's say my last shooting date is 11th, I'll be home by 12th.
Okay.
So that for a few days I'll be like a little, fidgety, and I'll be fighting with my family for no reason,
Yeah.
like normal here and there, and they'll be like, just 2 3 days more, and he'll be fine
Yeah. I'll
because
be.
they know I'll be like, because my routine gets a little different when I'm
Yeah.
shooting. It's there are morning shifts, there are night shifts. It's a little hectic,
Yeah.
so I get a little, fidgety and clumsy when
Mm-hmm.
I go back.
It
But I think
happens.
that's a very good way to be back where you belong,
Yes.
because your family, your parents, your friends put you right in your,
They
you
do.
know, yeah. So I'll give you a very good example. My sister is a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
She's a wedding dance choreographer in India, and her client or somebody was doing her makeup or something, and they wanted to have a picture with me. And the moment they came into the hall, and I was there sitting
Yeah.
watching television. The same time, my mom entered the hall and she brought a dustbin bag. She was like, Sahil, go throw it to the buzzer. And that girl was like, I want a picture. I was like, Mama, you could have come later.
I love that.
So they put me in the right place.
Keeps you
So
humble.
yes, yes. Yeah, so you don't think like, oh, you're somebody, or
Yeah.
you.
Up in the
So they'd be
clouds.
like, oh, shut up, just go,
Yeah.
go to the dustbin and throw this.
I love that. No, time and place for everything. That's amazing.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
seem to be a very reflective individual too, which I think is very needed in an industry like film, where it can get very glamorous and it's very fast paced and there's so much happening and there's opportunities thrown at you.
yeah.
I would love to ask you, with all of that, how does one balance fame and criticism and hate online? Because it's so much easier to be mean online. Have you faced that yet? Not yet? Maybe never? Let's hope.
Criticism, very recently a little bit, but fame, I would say. I mean, I'm not that famous to be honest, but I'm not too sure actually, but it's nice when people give you love. I
Yeah.
really, I'm grateful because as an actor, as an artist, that is something that you crave for.
Mhm.
That you want people to watch you. You want people to like love your work. That
Mhm.
is you. That is something that you live for, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, like when you work, and sometimes either the crew person or like your director or like a random light man or somebody just comes and like compliments you and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, you, bro, you're very good. And then you're like, oh, fuck, now I don't need money. It's okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh.
But, and, but it feels nice
Yeah.
and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to the Almighty. And I don't think so. I've faced that. But yeah, criticism, I remember my last release was a
Yes.
film called Farre,
Yes.
and in that film, I have tanned myself a little,
Uh-huh.
because I felt, the character belonged to the city of Delhi,
Right.
and I play a delivery boy, like a food delivery boy.
Yeah.
So I mean, with God's grace, I'm a little, fair
Uh-huh.
complexioned. I was like, and my director wanted me to be clean shaven for the
Mm.
film because I was playing a 16-year-old schoolboy who
Yeah.
was studying in 11th or 12th grade.
Of course.
So he said, you cannot have even a little bit of beard because I'm older than
Mhm.
the character.
Yeah.
So he was like, so you cannot be. So I was like, okay, fine, then I'm more white. So then I was like, if we're shooting in the sun, then I'm even more white. Then I'm like, okay, but I belong to Delhi and
Mhm.
I know characters there. So I
Yes.
was like, if I order something and if I uh, receive an order from a very white looking guy, then it would be a little unconvincing
Mhm.
because the sun is really, really extreme
Yes.
in summers in Delhi.
Yeah.
So that is not possible that you're not
No.
tanned.
Yeah.
So I had to like put myself, I've to like put some makeup on it
Yeah.
so that the character becomes a little convincing.
Of course.
But one of the critics who came for the screening, she was really nice. She complimented and everything was good. But later on, she wrote that I didn't like that part where the makers. I'm not happy with the makers because she blamed the makers,
Mm.
and the makers were like Sahil, and makers were not happy with it.
Of
They were like,
course.
Sahil, don't do it. It's not needed. But I was like, no, 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 no. I mean, if I don't believe my character, then my audience will
Exactly.
not
You have
believe
to be
the character.
authentic to it.
Yeah, so that critic like she wrote that that I'm not happy with the makers because whenever you have to like show a poor guy or like a lower class guy, you cannot show somebody tanned or like dark skinned. It's not nice. But it was not meant for that.
Yeah.
It was about the tanning,
Yes.
sun tanning part,
Yeah.
uh, which which we later on like converted, like we reduced the tanning when he leaves that job.
Mm. Okay.
So, but she didn't notice that part maybe, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's a part of the job, I guess. Some people will like it, some people will have their opinions
Yeah.
about it. So, but we are happy that people are watching and making comments. So
Yeah.
it's nice.
I mean, it,
Yeah,
it, it only means that you're being seen and there's something,
exactly.
you're making an impact.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
respect that so much, Sahil, that you took that upon yourself to say, no, the character doesn't make sense to be of this shade or this complexion. I'm going to do what it takes to make
Yeah.
it convincing. Because what I see a lot of the time in smaller productions where the actor or the actress will say, no, we're not doing that. Why? Because we don't want to. No, 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 we're going to keep our blush on. But you just woke up. You just got out of the shower. Why do you have blush on? So it's
Exactly.
super
Exactly.
infuriating and makes the audience feel like we're dumb. But when I'm
Yeah.
hearing you, Sahil, it seems like you really treat your audience and your viewers and your fans with respect. That, like, no,
Yeah.
let's give them,
Yeah.
like, art.
Yeah, exactly. Cinema, Shamse, we're talking about cinema. Cinema is what? Somebody told me that um, cinema is a piece of life on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a small piece of life. So when you talk of piece of life, then life is real.
Yeah.
It's everything is not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is perfect actually.
Yeah.
So even the show that I'm doing right now,
Yeah.
they didn't like. I was like, okay, fine. What is the look that we're designing? I was like, I make sure that every role that I do, there is at least one flaw in it.
Okay.
At least one flaw.
Okay.
Because that is what it will, make the character real.
Mm-hmm.
If the character is like, oh, so nice looking, the water, the hair is so like gelled and it's nicely done, the clothes are beautiful, clean, then it's not real,
Yeah.
It's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's film. Then it's a film. Like,
Yeah.
then it's like, I mean, unreal for
Mm.
me. And as I said, that if I don't believe my character, then for sure my audience is not believing in it.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, fine, where can I do it? And then there's a part where he falls from the bike. So it's like, okay, fine, he falls from the bike, then let's make some wounds. And
Amazing.
then, yeah, exactly, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then my makeup guy was like very cool, and he's a very artsy guy, so he understands stuff. And he fell from the bike once, so he
Mm.
showed me his wound. He's like, I got a like a blue mark here. I was like, let's
Okay.
do it.
Got it.
And then he made wounds here on my hands. It's nicely
Amazing.
done. It looks so damn real. I'll show you the
Yeah.
photos. Yeah,
That's so nice and satisfying when like two artists, two minds can come together and like create
yeah,
something. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
So, okay,
yeah.
you're talking to me and you're walking me through your process, your mental process and like the steps that you take, and you seem to really do what it means to be, I think, an actor. And that seems to have like diluted and changed throughout time. But you really think about everything. You think about the angle, you think about what's happening, you think about the pre, the post. So, is Saha staying as an actor, or is he gonna go into direction? Is he gonna go into production? Like, what's, even if it's 10, 20, 30 years down the line, is that something you could see yourself in?
Uh, so I don't know what am I eating tomorrow morning.
I get that.
uh,
That's fair.
so if God has written fruits for me, I'll have fruits. If God
Yeah.
has written chola bhatura for me, I'll have chola bhatura.
Yeah.
But I don't plan things actually.
Okay.
But primarily, I love acting, and that is
Okay.
something that I want to do.
Amazing.
But I have a little interest in direction as well. But
Okay.
I don't want to direct, but I'm not sure.
Sure, sure. Okay. That's fair.
Because when I make my self tapes now, Shanzi, like one I did today itself, so I make sure that I give the self tape if it was for a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
So I majorly do that for commercials, that I make the whole ad. Like if my agent, if my manager sends me a project or like a self tape request for a commercial
Mm-hmm.
or like a film, I don't treat it like the whole thing, but I will make sure that if Shanze is watching my self tape and Shanze doesn't know anything about the character or the plot,
Mm-hmm.
then my self tape should be so well explained to Shanze
Yeah.
that Shanze knows that okay what the scene is,
Yeah.
because the director would know about the whole story and the
Mm-hmm.
whole brief about the character and every single thing. But I will make sure that that the whole uh, tape should be understandable by any layman.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I direct it like in a way like
Got it.
the whole. I'll make the whole ad. I'll put the product window.
Yes.
I'll put the music. I'll do everything. So I have a little interest over
Yeah.
it. So I don't, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, you can always start something small with your group of friends or group of actors. I know I've interviewed Ali Haji, and he's done his own thing called Pastiche Productions or Pictures, something of that sort.
I know, Ali. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so that's something that he's been doing. And yeah, it can be something just fun and nothing serious. Just to get, like,
yeah.
be satisfied and get your cravings there.
But that's my problem. If I'm doing something, I'll give my 100%. I'll do it. I'll make it
Oh
nicely.
no, oh.
Otherwise, I'm not. Otherwise, I won't do it.
Are you a perfectionist?
I don't know. I mean, that's not something that I would have to say about myself. Uh, but yeah, if I'm doing something, then I'll do it nicely. Otherwise,
Okay.
I won't.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Even if I'm shooting something on my phone,
Yeah.
but it should be 100%. It
Okay.
should be all good.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's always nice to hear that you don't just show up with your lines and you think that's it. You think about everything.
Yeah, yeah, of course. It's acting is not
No.
just about lines,
No,
Shanze.
it's
No, not at all.
not.
I, people used to say that in theater that acting is not about lines. It's about between the lines,
Yes.
which is true.
Yes,
Which
yes.
is true.
Yeah.
Like Like if you have to say this,
Yeah.
like if you have to say, I don't know what I was supposed to say next.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but there was in the self tape, there was a line like if I have to say that tomorrow I'm having this.
Mm-hmm.
Now that tomorrow having this part was not known to me.
Mm-hmm.
But in the script, to Sahil, it was known.
Yeah.
So if I say tomorrow, I have to say, let's say if I have to say, I'm tomorrow having this is unreal,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Then I have to really think after saying that tomorrow, what if I have to, I have to like really think, but I
Uh-huh.
know what do I have to say
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
So that is what acting is,
Oh yeah. It's
you know?
all the details that you don't think or see, and it's all those
Yeah,
communications that aren't
yeah.
verbal.
It's about unlearning sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you knew the line,
Yeah.
but you have to say the line in a way that you don't know the line.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Only then you'll portray the character right.
Yeah.
But what if you have to like the character speaks very fast and you're like, yeah, I mean, I was supposed to say that, but yeah, I know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's about 20 minutes. It's about to end. Like, it, then it's fine.
Yes.
But I mean,
It's a
it
lot
is
of
to do
things.
with the
It's all
script.
the things you don't see happening. That's
Yeah,
mostly what's happening when you're acting. Yeah. Okay, let's
yeah.
switch lanes a little bit and talk about I know you did theater a little bit growing up and now you're into cinema. Um but so I know like in your early 20s it's where you really explored the screen media. With that, I don't know how much you can contribute and say about child acting and like the protection laws and how much you faced or how much you feel like young actors or actresses don't
Mm-hmm,
have protection. Do you feel
mm-hmm.
like you have that protection in India cinema, or is that something that they're working on? Yeah, just do you feel protected? Do you feel valued? Do you feel like you offer something? And am I making my point?
I think if I talk about my journey, I've been like glad enough to like not face any such bad experience to be
Okay.
very honest.
Yeah.
But in terms of what do you say, monetarily,
Yeah.
in terms of like your salary and pay cuts or whatever,
Anything. Yeah.
it's a little unorganized in a way because when I started in Delhi,
Mm-hmm.
and industry is here in Mumbai,
Yes.
right? So as I told you that someone like me coming from like nowhere, like who doesn't know anything about the industry,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people tend to exploit you.
Yes.
But I would say that really that happens in every industry, I would
Of
say.
course.
Even if you go to like corporate, like if you go in any industry, bad people are everywhere, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And good people are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been glad enough to like um have like matched with like or like got the opportunity to work with right people who taught me
Yeah.
uh on my journey. I remember when I started the first ad that I did, I didn't know shit. They booked me and they were like, okay, fine, these are the dates and are you available? And I was like, I got an email, okay? And there was this random website and I made my portfolio there. And I remember I had no photos because I don't like taking photos back then. Now I
Oh,
have to like do
you
because of
have
work.
to.
And there was a very bad selfie of mine in my glasses. And I put that on their website and they were like, hi Sahil, are you available? And I was like, available? I'm a villa. I'm sitting free. Are
Yeah.
you? Why are you asking my availability? I was like, and then my friend told me, no, no, you have to like act like you like
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
you like busy. I was like,
Yes.
oh, okay. And then I was like, yeah, I'm like available on these dates, but what is it for? And
Yeah.
then they're like, this what so and so brand, and I was like just being confident. That's it,
Yeah.
because that is what I learned during my theater.
Yes.
They were like, confidence is the key. You don't know shit, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fun, but you cannot show it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on my shoot day and I was like acting like, oh my goodness, I have done so much work. And
Yeah.
production people were like talking to me. Oh, the DOP is like, yeah, that South Indian guy. I was like, you remember? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And I was acting like anything.
Mhm.
And they were like, okay, this is the camera, this is the shot, and you just have to walk.
Yeah.
They asked me to walk, I walked.
Okay.
I didn't know like what is the frame, where do I have to like
Yeah.
walk, how do I have to
How
walk, what is the
fast? Yeah.
magnification, nothing.
Yeah.
I learned everything on the journey,
My
on the way.
goodness.
And yeah, so I've been glad enough to like met people who taught me things.
Amazing. No, yeah, that is the
Yeah,
best way to learn, isn't it? Just like jump into the water and then you can
yeah,
take away what you learned from that. Would you ever go
yeah.
back to theater?
Actually, you know what, the theater that I used to do was street plays,
Mhm.
was street theater, which is way too loud,
Okay.
because we have to cater a loud, like a huge audience. Like
Yes.
we used to like perform in like local street markets,
Mhm.
and we used to like we had to like cater like 400 people, 300 people, and there were no mics. They can't be
Yeah.
mics, so you have to like really
Project.
be little project
Yes.
with projection, and like you have to like really talk from your like
Diaphragm.
stomach,
Yeah.
right? And so I remember I used to be a little, not like little, but like really loud. And when I shifted from street plays to cinema,
Mhm.
when I started auditioning for ads and
Yes.
longer formats,
Yeah.
there was camera, you
Mhm.
know, and it was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
difficult. Maybe the process is same. Let's say if you have to play a transgender
Mhm.
and you have to like really research about the character, it's
Mhm.
same,
Yeah.
but the execution part is different.
Yes.
So when I started that, I had to like really, really unlearn stuff.
Yeah.
I was very loud. I remember this first audition, or like this audition of mine where they asked me to like cut a cake,
Mhm.
and it was for a commercial, I remember. And the camera was this, okay? The frame was this. It was like mid close,
Mhm. Yes.
like how I see you.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, And I was like, oh,
Right,
I was
right,
like cutting
right.
the cake
Because
like
you're used
I
to
used to do in
speaking to the space.
exactly. I was doing that,
Mhm.
but I was fortunate enough to met that guy that he called me later and he was like, Sahil, when you go home, I'll call you. I was like, okay, fine. I was like, did I do something wrong or am I selected already? I was like,
Mm.
what have I done? He was like, Sahil, listen, this is the camera. Come, this is the camera. This is the frame. You are only visible like this.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, so you can't move that much. I was like, just come, just cut the cake and that's it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And that was it. I
Mhm.
understood.
Yeah.
Like, you have to like cater to the demand.
Yes.
That so yeah. But now, like very recently, like a week ago, my friend called me for his theater performance.
Mhm.
And I went to this place called Neeta Mukesh Ambani Cultural place in
Okay.
Mumbai, and I saw him performing live.
Mhm.
And then I got really interested again. It's
Yes.
like, oh shit, people are really clapping, and you can hear the claps, and people are
Right,
really having
right.
fun. They're laughing, they're enjoying. This is different. You don't
Yeah.
you don't see that in cinema.
No.
When you're shooting, maybe a light man or your director would like compliment you for once or twice, or maybe they won't, or maybe later on when you see the scenes, people will compliment you. They will write.
Yeah.
They will write to you. Only then it happens.
Yeah.
But in plays or theater, it is live. It is
It's
there.
yes.
So I was like, oh, I think I should
So
start
maybe
that again.
yeah, maybe like
Yeah.
here and there casually as a hobby.
Mm, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
I know it
I
takes a
was,
lot of
I was,
time.
I was little scared after that, audition scene.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not going back there.
Yeah.
I'm not at all going back. I just love cinema. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere now.
It's
But I'm not sure. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I'm eating tomorrow, as
Okay, we'll see. We'll see then. Um,
I said.
if not acting and if not media, what is Sahil pursuing? What would have your
So
career been looking like?
it'll be a little surprising, but I'm a biochemistry graduate.
Okay. Okay. Amazing.
Yeah, I was a science student in school, and I had to like take my additional subject, and I had a choice between computer science biotechnology and physical education,
Mm.
which is just sports, okay? And so physical education, I didn't want to. Computer sciences, they didn't give me because of my little less marks,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like biotechnology.
Right.
It's like okay.
Okay.
Also biology, I was like, no, I don't want to be a doctor or like I don't
Right.
want to go into medical. So they said biotechnology, and
Okay.
my friend was standing there. It's like, what have you taken? It's like biotech, biotech. I was like, oh, I'm also taking biotech.
Okay.
And when I took it, I got so interested in that that
Mm.
I got so curious about the subject that
Nice.
I got to know about DNA fingerprinting.
Mm.
I used to watch CID a lot. There's a show called CID, and where they collect the fingerprints
Mm-hmm.
of the the suspects or whatever the victims, and they match with the people who are
Yes.
you know in doubt.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really interesting, and I got really interested, and then I started studying that. So I really wanted to do biotechnology in life as a
Okay.
career. Yeah, but I failed in my engineering entrance exam. I
Okay.
got 65 on 360.
Okay.
So I was like, fine, I'm done.
That that's really
Then
cool to
I
hear
entered.
that.
Sorry?
That's really cool to hear that that's something that was like a potential career. Do you think
Yeah.
you might like step back into that sometime? I know you don't
No,
plan. I
no,
know
no,
you
no.
don't plan, but
No, no.
no.
No, no, no. Not at
Okay.
all. Not at all. But yeah, I really wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But that was the only exam that I failed in my entire life till now,
Right.
touch wood. But when I got 65 on 360, I was a very studious and nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I I got like I always used to get like 17, 18 on 20, 19 on
Mm-hmm.
20, like that.
Yeah.
And but when I got 65 on 360 and the cutoff was more than 100, I
Mm-hmm.
failed. The kind of a person I was, I would have gone in depression with those marks, but
Right.
I was completely normal.
Yeah.
I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I normal? That
Mm.
was the problem, that why am I not sad?
Yeah.
I should be sad. I have got like really less marks. But maybe that was a sign from like that, it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to do this.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to this senior friend of mine from school. He was like, just enter Delhi University. There
Mm-hmm.
are various courses which are similar to biotechnology.
Okay.
There's biochemistry, biomedical sciences, or like um, uh, yeah, so go study biochemistry.
Okay.
And then I started biochemistry. But once I entered the Delhi University, I got to know about the very active theater circuit in Delhi
Mm-hmm.
University. And I started doing theater. And
Yes.
that's how I started.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned your latest film, Fare. You're talking
Yeah.
about academics. You're talking about how you were as a student. So did you how did you prepare for this? For the character for this movie? Did
Oh,
you?
for it?
Yes. What went into the process? Did it go into speaking to some friends who didn't do well into school? Did it go into watching other movies where it's very heavily surrounded about schools or students? Or did you
Yeah.
completely not associate with any of that because you didn't want it to mess with the natural flow? What was your process for that?
So, I mean, for every film or the project that you do, I think your script tells you like what to do.
Okay. If it's a
I
good
mean, there's no
script.
process. Sorry?
If it's a good script. Because sometimes there's very.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Only then I tend to like be inclined towards doing that. Uh, but yeah, for like Furray, I think the process has been like really amazing because we were like really developing the script. I think I shot for 30 days for
Okay.
Furray, but we did the workshop for 40 days.
Mm.
Like more than the shooting days, we were
Yeah.
doing workshops and we
Wow.
were rehearsing scenes. And daily, our director was so damn good that he gave us the opportunity to like really think of a character in a way that like listen, if the scene is like, okay, from scene one your character goes from this to this, then you see that, is it making sense to you?
Mm.
Do you think that from scene 8 to 9 your character is doing this,
Uh huh.
and in scene 9 your character is doing that? Do you think this is making sense to you
Mm.
in the timeline? If not, then come to me, tell me.
Okay.
So he was like, he was really giving us that space to play
Yeah.
around. And I remember there was that moment in one of the scenes where I felt like, you've not seen Farre,
I
right?
have. I have.
You have.
Yes.
Oh, so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
So you remember when Akash, my character,
Yeah.
goes to Niyati,
Mhm.
when Niyati goes to Akash at the dhaba,
Mhm.
and she says that, listen, there's this exam,
Yeah.
and he says, listen, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And the next morning, Akash comes to Niyati's house that, listen, we are doing this.
Yes.
So that was not making sense to me.
Uh huh.
You know, like let's say Shonze comes to Sahil and she says that we have to do this
Mhm.
podcast, and I say no. And within a minute, I come back to you and I was like, Shonze, we are doing this.
Yeah. There's a disconnect.
There's a disconnect.
Yeah.
Why? Where is that why part?
Yeah.
So I talked to my director and I said, for him, for Akash, to say yes to that big thing,
Mhm.
big, big thing,
Yes.
which he never did in his whole life.
Yeah.
He's a guy who's like so studious,
Yeah.
who works hard, who's working for his family. His stakes are so damn high that he
Mhm.
cannot do something like that in his
Yeah.
own life. Then what is that major incident in his life
That pushed
which
him
is
to.
making him do that, which
Yes.
is which is turning his character like 180 degrees,
Yeah.
you know so we had to like think of that incident in his life. So I
Okay.
gave a reference point to my director, we talked about it, and then he added that scene where he goes back to his home, and where that customer is blaming his mom that why the clothes not ironed
Mhm.
yet.
Mhm.
And her mom says that this is our life,
Yeah.
you know and then he really thinks about it, and then he's really thinking about what has happened
Yeah.
in the bad days, and then he takes a decision that, okay, fine,
Okay.
I'm doing this.
Okay.
Then it made sense to me,
Yeah.
okay, fine, there should have been something then.
Yes. Everything
And about
that you see on screen, it has to be intentional. Otherwise, it's
exactly,
yeah.
exactly, it should make sense. And then about the process, I would say there were like a lot of similarities between Akash and me. I was also studious in my
Mhm.
school.
Mhm.
And very luckily and very surprisingly, when I read the script, it said Akash in the streets of Paharganj. Paharganj is a very local area in Delhi.
Okay.
And when I read it, I got so scared and like little surprised that,
Mhm.
because originally I am from Paharganj.
Okay.
I was born in Paharganj.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit, sir, how? I thought he knew.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? It's like, I said I was born in Paharganj.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh shit, maybe this was written for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute when you're able to connect
Yeah.
things to your character.
Exactly, exactly. So I was like able to connect, but um, the kind of struggles Akash has seen, the kind of hardships he has seen, I've also seen, but in a different way.
Mhm.
So when we were like doing um, the workshops, the
Yeah.
rehearsing bit,
Yep.
so we were doing that in Bombay. I was
Mhm.
living in Bombay that time. So I made sure that so he's a delivery boy, right?
Yes.
I never did that. I don't know what happens.
Mhm.
I don't know what delivery people face when they have to like deliver
Yeah.
stuff. So I told and requested my production that, listen, I mean, I'm free during the evenings, so can you like help me register with the delivery application
Yeah.
and give me a bike, and can I do it like for some days? And then they helped me with it. They gave me a bike and they helped me with a guy who is a real like delivery person,
Okay.
and I delivered food for a week or something.
Wow.
I didn't do like I used to do like 3-4 deliveries a day.
Mhm.
I used to like he used to like come pick me in at my hotel,
Yeah.
and once I used to like leave my hotel, and then I used to like change my t-shirt. I used to wear his t-shirt, and then he used to like give me his phone. Then
Yeah.
for on day one, he did the whole thing and then
Mhm.
taught me, and then from day two, I was fine enough. I used to like take orders on my own.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to see was I wanted to get humiliated. I wanted to like I wanted somebody to just
Mm-hmm.
say something to me so that it breaks me
Yeah.
in a way, right? Because I was living in a comfort, I
Right.
was living in a luxury.
Uh-huh.
But Akash, as you saw in the film, he was
Yeah.
not living in
Yeah.
luxury. He was living he was living life like shit,
Mm-hmm.
right? So how to experience that when we call for orders at home? We'd be like, oh, so anxious. Our guests are home. Why? Where are you? Why are you not home?
Right.
Please give us our order ASAP. And we don't understand their situation.
Yeah.
And very very cute thing happened with me. I received an order from a like a five-star hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and it was raining that day because we were doing the workshops during July, which is like monsoons in Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
And the hotel guy, the security didn't let me inside the hotel because I was a delivery boy.
Okay.
And they made me stand outside the hotel, and it was raining.
Wow.
And I was like, but it's raining. Can you just let me in,
Yeah.
like in the shade? It's like, no, no, just stand there. I was like, okay, fine. And then the customer they just took time to come outside. They were using the umbrellas, and they took the order. And at the same time, on top of that, I was getting drenched.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the app people were calling me that why the order hasn't reached yet. I was like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
standing. The customer is not here. And then he came and he picked the order. Cut to um, I think a year later, maybe 10 months or 11 months later, I was in a hotel, and the studios, like the film distributors, were there for a film screening.
Mm-hmm.
And my producer called me up, like, listen, just come, the distributors are here, so they would be buying the films. Just come, say hi, and you can leave then. And I was there, and by the time I reached, they were done with the film. They were complimenting. They were so happy with the film. They were like, "We'll make the best marketing strategy for the film." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, cool." But one thing that was bothering me was like, where have I seen this hotel? I haven't been here, but I
Mm.
feel I have been here.
Yeah.
And the moment I left, I was like, oh shit, this is
Yeah.
the same hotel that I delivered the order.
Yeah.
That where I was like, where the guard didn't let me in. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
full circle, bro. I was like,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so it was funny. It was nice.
Wow, no, that's really beautiful to hear the behind the
Yeah, so these are
scenes.
the moments that you live for.
Yes. And like these are
Yeah,
like the behind the scenes, not only the production ones, but like this is something
yeah,
that you're putting in out of your own time, not getting paid for,
yeah,
simply to just
yeah,
tell an authentic story.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
Okay, well, we are down to our final question, and then we're
yeah,
going to do our little intro, and then we're going to shout out your Instagram pages. The question for
yeah.
you is, what change do you wish to see within the industry? Or
Hmm.
who or what sort of character would you like to work on and showcase? Like either an actor you want to work with, a character you would like to showcase slash genre, or a change you want to see in the industry. And if you want to answer all three, you can do that
Okay.
too.
Character. I think only a few days back I was like thinking about playing a psycho
Okay.
murderer, or I don't know, who wants to like take revenge for something.
Okay.
Because I don't know, what do I see? I don't know, what did I see? I think I saw myself in like short hair
Hmm.
with my eyes poking out,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. I haven't played something like that, like a psycho guy,
Yeah.
you know,
That would be
like
very challenging.
very. I'd be like having fun
Yeah.
doing it. So I wanted to play something like that. And you said an actor that I
An
want to
actor
work
you'd
with.
like to work with, or doesn't have to be famous, just someone that you'd like to work with.
I think uh, Alia Bhatt is an actor
Yes.
that I really look up to
Okay.
in Bollywood for now. She's doing crazy work.
Yeah.
And one more guy who's um his name is Randeep Hooda.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very brilliant actor.
Okay.
Very brilliant actor. So yeah, I really get admired by performances actually.
Yes.
Not really actors, but I mean, yeah, I love these people. But I really sometimes performances really admire me. Sometimes they really move me.
A little bit more.
The last film that I saw was Shrikant,
Hmm.
and in that film, there's this actor called Mr. Jameel Khan, and he has played Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam in the film. There
Mm.
are hardly like 3 4 scenes of him in the film, but the way he has played Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam,
Mm.
you cannot differentiate. I've seen Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He came to my school once,
Yeah.
and I remember him so clearly
Okay.
because he said something that learn to dream,
Mm-hmm.
and that really moved me. And when I saw that actor playing him, that really moved me because he
Wow.
was same. He
Yeah.
was same. His walk, his talk, his complexion, his body language, every single thing, it was same.
Okay.
So I get really moved by all of this.
Yes. And
Doesn't matter if you're playing the main guy or not, but
yeah.
it's like you're like, oh wow, how do
Uh-huh.
you do it?
I think you
So
almost I think you almost try to do that as well. Because I think you have the appreciation for the performance more than the name. I think you try to also apply that. Amazing.
maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, because I resonate with that maybe.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
And something that I would like to like change or like request people to be. I think people don't really give that much importance to lunch breaks.
Yeah. All
I think
universal.
people,
Yes.
yeah, because I think it happens maybe in like various places or
Mm-hmm.
like in industries maybe they don't really give that much importance to food
Yeah.
or like rest.
Yes.
you know like let's say if you're shooting daily
Mm-hmm.
and you're not like taking good rest,
Yeah.
I don't think so you'll be able to like, or we'll be able to like run our bodies for longer,
Yeah, no.
because our body needs food on time, our
Yeah.
body needs rest on time.
Yeah.
Like if you will, you can like take um make your body more efficient by working for more hours,
Yeah.
but that will be like for a very shorter period
Short
of
term.
time,
Yeah.
and you are affecting the efficiency in a way.
Yeah.
The last project that I worked on, that production house, I would love to take the name. The kind of respect they have for every single person on set, not just main actors,
Yeah.
not just secondary actors, even for like what do you say, like extras or like
Mm-hmm.
juniors.
Yeah.
We were shooting in harsh sunlight,
Yeah.
and he made sure that his production has made shades, great food for all,
Oh,
for all.
amazing.
And if the lunch break was supposed to start at 1, it will start at 1.
Good.
There was ample amount of time and
Okay.
respect and importance given to food,
Amazing.
because those guys know that if we are not having lunch breaks at the desired time,
Yeah.
then by the time the day is ending, the bodies will get less efficient.
Yes.
They know the importance of food
Okay.
and rest,
Wow.
because if let's say you don't give time for lunch,
Mm-hmm.
you're active from 9 a.m. in the morning, and
Yeah.
by the time it is 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., you're done.
Yeah.
You're like, for the last 2 3 hours, the body is not efficient.
No. Yeah.
But if you give proper time for lunch,
Yeah.
body is back to 1.
Exactly.
Then you can run the bodies till
Yes.
like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m.
Okay.
So they
Wow.
understand that.
And you know
So I
that.
really have to give that to them.
Yes, and that should be the standard, but it's
Exactly.
unfortunate it's not. But that's
Exactly.
great on them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Respect for all, and proper time for food and rest.
Amazing. Yeah, and starting
Yeah.
production at on time, like that's a big thing that you hear that,
Yeah.
oh no, the
Yeah.
actor's not here so we can't do this. Okay, do another scene. Like anywho.
Yeah. No, no. They would like super, super organized. Super
Amazing.
organized.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, well, thank you so much, Sahil, for joining me on this and sharing the inside scoop of what it means to be an actor, a young actor in today's time. And if you want, I would love to have you share your Instagram handle so people can support you, follow you.
Of course. Yeah. You can follow me on Instagram at Sahil Mehta, and I would need your blessings and love.
Of course. And yes, get in the comments section, follow, do what you need to do, beautiful listeners. And once again, we are looking out for more projects coming from you. And thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Shanze, for having me.
Of course. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.